In a courtroom with all eyes on the proceedings as a law defends their clients, convicts hoping for leniency. But suddenly, everything changes. The convicts turn on their own lawyer, launching an attack on the very person fighting for them. Chaos breaks out, with guards scrambling and spectators frozen in disbelief. What led to this intense outburst? Was it frustration, mistrust, or a last-ditch act of desperation? The courtroom transforms into a scene of disorder, leaving everyone wondering how things could go so wrong so fast. In that moment, justice feels far away, and control is nowhere in sight. Join us as we explore shocking moments where convicts attack their lawyers in court. In an intense scene in a Cleveland courtroom, David Chilston, a man with a history of violent behavior, took his anger out on his own defense attorney after being handed a hefty prison sentence. Moments after hearing he'd be serving 47 years behind bars, Chilston, visibly outraged, turned on his lawyer, Aaron Brockler, and sucker punched him in the face. The shocking assault, caught on a security officer's body camera, shows Chilston, his hands cuffed in front, striking Brockler as they stood before Judge Nancy Margaret Russo. The suddenness of the attack took everyone by surprise and threw the courtroom into chaos. Chilston's outburst was far from his first brush with violence. Back in 2017, he had triggered a significant police standoff after a string of dangerous actions. He had assaulted his girlfriend, set his apartment building on fire, and was even charged with animal cruelty, leaving a wake of destruction that resulted in numerous charges, including aggravated arson and domestic violence. After his arrest, he spent 2 years in jail awaiting trial and sentencing. As Chilston's anger boiled over in the courtroom, Cuyahoga County deputies quickly intervened, wrestling him to the ground to regain control of the situation. Brockler, who had been blindsided by his own client's rage, was shaken but managed to escape without serious injury. The courtroom, however, was left rattled by the unexpected violence in a place meant to serve justice. Now, on top of the 47-year prison term for his previous offenses, Chilston faces an additional charge of felonious assault due to his attack on his attorney. This new charge only adds to his extensive list of legal troubles and is likely to keep him locked away for even longer. Chilston's outburst is a reminder of the unpredictability in high-stakes courtrooms, where even those sworn to protect and defend can become targets. For Judge Russo and the Cuyahoga County courtroom staff, it showed the need for vigilance, particularly with volatile defendants. Chilston's outburst was shocking, but he's far from the only defendant to lash out unexpectedly. Our next case brings us to Seattle, where another defendant's rage turned an ordinary hearing into a scene of violence. Let's step into the King County courtroom in Seattle, Washington, where a tense scene is about to unfold. Christopher Teal stands accused of serious charges: first-degree rape and unlawful imprisonment. The story is disturbing and intense. The accusations against Teal paint a horrifying picture. He allegedly followed a woman into the bathroom of a car dealership, locked the door behind them, and attacked her. The ordeal ended only when dealership employees broke into the stall and wrestled him to the ground, stopping the assault. Today, Teal is in court for a competency hearing, where it will be determined if he's fit to stand trial. Teal stands with his court-appointed attorney, Reed Birkeland, as a jail guard removes his handcuffs. Representing the state is Emily Peterson, who begins the formalities. Teal is present in custody and represented by counsel, but just then, without any warning, Teal swings his arm and punches Birkeland, his own attorney. The room erupts as security guards shout, "Face down! Get down!"
Get down! Face down! Face down!
Guards quickly move in, tackling the 6'3" defendant and pinning him down. It takes 4 officers to subdue him, and even then, Teal continues to struggle. To control the situation, they bring in a rolling chair and place a spit hood over his head before escorting him back to jail. He decides not to press charges for the attack, but promptly removes himself from Teal's case. 2 weeks later, Teal returns to the courtroom, now with a new lawyer, and strapped to that same rolling chair. But instead of focusing on his serious charges, Teal fixates on something odd: his mugshot. He complains loudly, asking, "Where did they even get that photo of me with short hair? I don't have a Facebook."
I'd like to know where the they got that photo of me with my short hair. Because that was on Facebook, and I don't have a Facebook.
All right.
So you're on the legitimate question.
The judge, unfazed by Teal's strange fixation, notes his remarks and calmly schedules yet another hearing. The trial has yet to begin, but each court appearance only raises more questions about Teal's fitness to stand trial and his grasp of the gravity of his situation. It's a case that has everyone on edge, and with each new twist, the courtroom tension only deepens. These courtroom assaults are unsettling reminders of how quickly emotions can spiral out of control. But in Iowa, one prosecutor's late exit from court turned into a sudden showdown with a defendant seeking revenge. It was the end of a long day at the Story County Courthouse in Nevada, Iowa. A group of prosecutors were finally heading home, their footsteps echoing down the hallway as they walked together, discussing cases and plans for the evening. But as they neared the courthouse exit, a man trailing behind caught up, calling out to one of the attorneys by name. The attorney turned to respond, unknowing of the danger behind him. County Prosecutor Tim Niels was at the rear of the group, completely unaware that a man he'd once faced in court was lying in wait. This man was Major Robinson, 31, a former defendant Niels had prosecuted. Robinson was holding on to a grudge and had been waiting for this exact moment. In an instant, Robinson launched forward, fists clenched, and swung hard, landing a punch squarely on Niels' face. The quiet hallway turned chaotic. Prosecutors around them scrambled, and Tyler Eason, another county prosecutor, quickly moved in to help his colleague. But Robinson was on the offense. And as Eason stepped in, Robinson landed a hit on him too, shattering his glasses and leaving Eason dazed. The brief but intense altercation spilled across the hallway. As Niels and Eason tried to defend themselves, courthouse security arrived just in time to restrain Robinson, wrestling him to the ground, before the situation escalated further. Both prosecutors sustained minor injuries to their faces and heads, but thankfully, nothing more serious. Following the incident, Robinson was promptly arrested and charged with 2 counts of assault and 2 counts of willful injury. For Niels and Eason, however, the attack left more than physical bruises. The courthouse buzzed with a mixture of outrage and concern, with many prosecutors voicing the need for stronger protections. They argued that, like police officers and firefighters, prosecutors should be covered under enhanced protection laws, which would increase the penalties for assaults committed against them. As the case progressed, Major Robinson ultimately pled guilty to the charges and was sentenced to a year in jail. For those at the Story County Courthouse, the incident was a stark reminder of the risks that come with their work and the importance of ensuring their own safety within the very walls where they seek justice. Prosecutors and defense attorneys alike face threats, but sometimes the volatility comes from those trying to evade justice altogether. In Kentucky, a defendant took matters into his own hands, using courtroom theatrics to try to avoid trial. We're stepping into Jefferson County Court in Lexington, Kentucky, where murder suspect Jerry Lawson is set to appear for a competency hearing. Lawson's record in court is already marked by numerous outbursts. Prosecutors suspect he's putting on a show to avoid trial. Lawson faces charges of murder, arson, tampering with evidence, and corpse abuse. The case is horrifying. Police say Lawson set fire to the home of 64-year-old Bernice Anaton, whose suspicious death was later confirmed by autopsy. Today, during his pre-trial hearing, Lawson wastes no time. He quickly erupts into a rage against his attorney Mike Lemke, shouting incoherently. As the court tries to regain order, the prosecution steps in, claiming they've seen this routine before. They argue that since 2013.
But the competency evaluations, there's been 2 of them, and Dr. Allen's diagnosis has been consistent from 2013 to now that he's malingering.
Evaluations have consistently shown that Lawson is malingering, faking his mental state to avoid trial. The prosecution insists the case needs to proceed, with or without restraints. Despite Lawson's behavior, the trial eventually moves forward, and he's convicted on all charges, now serving up to 85 years at the Luther Luckett Correctional Facility. While some defendants attempt theatrics, others react violently to perceived injustices. In our final case, a simple bond hearing escalates into a dramatic showdown, showing how contempt for court can quickly turn a routine proceeding into a lesson in restraint. Meanwhile, over in Louisville Bond Court, Judge Smith is dealing with a line of hearings. Michael Ray, facing charges of criminal trespassing and second-degree assault, approaches with a defiant attitude. As the prosecutor recommends $25,000 bail, Ray chuckles and dismisses the amount, thinking it's too high.
You think that's funny?
I think that's hilarious.
We weren't done.
But sarcasm doesn't help his case. Instead, Judge Smith raises the bond to $50,000.
All right, so bond is $50,000. No bail credit, danger to community.
Ray, undeterred, storms out, but throws one last insult in the judge's direction. Furious, the judge holds him in contempt, adding an extra 30 days to his sentence.
30 days to serve on contempt for flipping me off twice.
Then, as if to prove a point, Ray returns, flipping off the judge as he re-enters the courtroom. Judge Smith issues another 30 days, but Ray continues, even threatening the judge as he leaves. This confrontation turns a simple bail hearing into a mess. By the end, Ray racks up 10 charges in a matter of minutes. Judge Smith doesn't hold back, reminding everyone in the court of one crucial lesson. This is precisely what not to do in court. As we've seen, the courtroom can be a place of intense emotions, where the stakes are high and unexpected moments can turn order into chaos in an instant. From convicts lashing out in frustration to defendants attempting to manipulate the system, these cases remind us that justice can be as unpredictable as it is powerful. If these stories fascinated you or left you questioning the legal system, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more gripping content on the raw, unfiltered side of courtrooms. And as always, stay tuned as we uncover more jaw-dropping tales from inside the world of law.